It is time now for our Westways Weekender. Every other Saturday, we're featuring content from the Automobile Club of Southern California's Westways magazine, celebrating travel, food, and life in Southern California. Joining us live this morning is Westways managing editor Meghan O'Dell to take us on a trip to Ojai. Good morning, Meghan.
Good morning, Sheba.
Always glad to have you with us so we can take an immersive trip through you this morning. And we are going to Ojai today. So what's going on there?
Yeah, so Ojai is a great place to really just slow down and engage all your senses. It's about 15 miles inland from Ventura, and it's surrounded by the Topa Topa Mountains. There's so much good food, there's boutique shops downtown, there's organic farms. And one of the things they're really famous for are the Ojai Pixie tangerines.
Yes, I've heard of this. Tell me more about them.
Yeah, the tangerines are so famous that they're actually celebrated every April with a festival. And you can do a really fun tasting room crawl in Ojai and just kind of try some of their locally made products. And if you're anything like me, you'll take more than a few goodies home.
Absolutely. Okay, you mentioned tasting rooms, so tell me more about what we can try there.
Definitely. So you might think that tasting rooms are mostly for wine, but in Ojai, they're also for their artisanal products. So I would recommend starting with Magic Hour. So this is a tea salon. They blend their own teas in Ojai. And they recently moved to a much bigger location with a kitchen so they can host high teas on weekends. And if you've ever been to one of those, you know how fun they are.
Yes. I love a good tea.
Yeah, they're so much fun. So you can go in and you can get free samples of some of their blends, or you can do a tea flight, and you can try 3 different types of teas. One of my favorites was the English breakfast tea. And you're just surrounded by more types of tea than you can imagine and just places to relax.
That sounds like a dream for me, Meghan. Okay, so we've got tea-covered tangerines. What about olive oil? I heard Ojai has great olive oil.
Yes, so just a short drive from downtown is Ojai Olive Oil. So this is a beautiful space. You're just surrounded by these olive trees. Some of them date back to the 1850s. And so what happens is you go in the tasting room and they give you a wooden tray and you go around and you kind of pour whichever olive oil and balsamic vinegars you want to try into the tray. It sort of looks like you're doing a science experiment. And then there it is. And then they give you these chunks of sourdough bread, and then you just go outside and you sit under the trees and kind of just tear chunks off and try little concoctions. Those are my parents enjoying olive oil.
That looks like such a good time, and you got me when you got bread involved in anything. Okay, so now that we're talking about eating, where should we have lunch and dinner?
Absolutely. So there's so many places to eat in Ojai, it's kind of hard to narrow it down. But for lunch, I would check out Ojai Roots. This is a new farm shop and wine garden. So they make their food with the freshest ingredients from local farms. You know, when I was there, I had a Greek salad with tomatoes and cucumbers. And then they also kind of act as a neighborhood market. So there's produce, there's juice, there's home goods. They sell these really adorable little fruit and veggie shaped candles there. And for dinner, I would head to Rory's Place. So this is owned by 2 sisters. They use seasonal ingredients from local farmers, ranchers, and fishers. There's a raw bar. They have really great seafood dishes like Channel Island halibut. And they even have a pixie-infused cocktail, which you see right there.
Oh, we talked about those pixie tangerines. Well, this sounds wonderful, Meghan. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to have me on the road to Ojai soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too. All right, guys, you can find all the information on each spot we highlight on our website, kcalnews.com/SeenOnTV. It is 8:46 now, and we'll be right back after the break.